We are waking up to a cold one here in the Denver metro area with Katie LaSalle tracking a freeze warning impacting a good chunk of our state. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jordan Chavez.
And I'm Corey Rose. Erica Lopez is watching the road conditions for your commute. But first, speaking of your commute, local leaders are looking to make one section of a busy metro area highway a lot safer. And they want your input on how to do it. Wildlife officials want to unleash more wolves in our state this winter, but not if one nearby county gets their way. The battle brewing over the animal reintroductions this morning. And must-see video this morning shows us a terrifying new perspective of the devastating Alaska flooding. The latest on the evacuation and recovery effort coming up in just minutes. First, though, we've got to talk about that freeze warning. Katie, who is impacted by this and how long is this going to last?
The Denver metro area north to the border until 8 o'clock this morning. That freeze warning has been issued. It's in effect. Not everywhere is freezing right now, but it is colder than this time yesterday. I will say, grateful the winds will not be nearly as strong as yesterday, where we had fire danger all across the eastern plains and here for the metro area with wind gusts extremely high. This morning things have calmed. Skies are clear, but we are waking up to those very chilly temperatures. We're right now seeing upper 30s here downtown Denver, but that freeze warning, all areas shaded here in purple. That includes the metro area west to the foothills out toward the airport, Deer Trail, Castle Rock, up into Fort Collins, where we're right now at 33 degrees there. High 30s downtown to the airport. Firestone sitting just at freezing. A little further south, though, you can see Castle Rock and Elizabeth in the high 30s to right around 40. So depending on where you are this morning, it is crisp out there, but we haven't reached below freezing in a lot of spots. Our average in Denver is 35 on this day, October 21st, and the record was 17. It is a whole lot colder, though. You'll feel it when you step out the door. Around 10 to 15 degrees so across the northeastern plains, and nearly 30 degrees colder than this time yesterday over portions of eastern Colorado. So kids at the bus stop definitely want to layer up this morning. Jacket, sweatshirt. It's a chilly, crisp start. But the sun will come up just after 7:15 and it'll be pleasant this afternoon. By 3 p.m., we're expecting a high of 68 degrees in town. That is slightly above average for this time of the year, and the winds will stay calm. We're watching this ridge of high pressure roll in across the region. Our next disturbance will bring us a little bit of mountain moisture, it looks like on Thursday. Could see a few sprinkles across town. I'll take you through the extended forecast still to come. But Erica, definitely a different picture with much drier conditions and not nearly as high winds this morning in the mountains. What's it looking like on the roads right now?
You know, Katie, it's been quiet until just now. 6:01, Sky9 just got up and flying, and we are following a crash along northbound Kipling this morning and 6th Avenue. If you're going to be traveling this way, we're seeing this vehicle with some serious front end damage. I'm just getting a look at this with all of you at the same time. There is a lot of debris. Tow truck arriving on scene live as we're watching Sky9 this morning. Couple officers out here. It's not a full closure of the intersection, but of course we've got a lane closure. Unclear where the other vehicle is that was potentially involved here this morning. We're seeing a couple folks standing outside of the car. But again, if you're going to be traveling in the area of Kipling and 6, you're going to want to watch out and just be aware of this. I do want to take you over to what we're seeing on CDOT cameras. Really quiet otherwise. 76 in the Commerce City area, 96th Avenue, westbound lanes picking up just a little bit in volume. I-25 Thornton Parkway, pretty much clear. Southbound and northbound, not too busy. And a quick look at our map this morning for you. Travel across the metro. Again, that's where the Kipling wreck is that we were just looking at. But again, lots of green out here. And if you are going to be making that drive into the metro area from Fort Collins along I-25 or Greeley along Highway 85, seeing a whole lot of green out here as well. New this morning, if you take I-25 between 104th Avenue and 36, you probably know the serious pain of crashes and lots of backups in that area. But before we see improvements, the Department of Transportation wants drivers to weigh in. 9 News Transportation Specialist Brianna Fernandez live in that area. Brianna, when can we expect to see changes along this stretch?
You know, Erica, not anytime soon. So before any projects or improvements start along this stretch, CDOT wants to know what you would want to add or change along I-25, so between 104th and Highway 36 and 270. So I want you guys to take a look at your screen. Here's a map to give you a better idea of which stretch I'm talking about. So this area has seen a steady increase in crashes since 2012. Most crashes are rear end crashes that are typically connected with all that traffic jam. This area sees around 200,000 1,000 cars that travel daily. So if a crash does happen along this stretch, Erica and I both know that these interstates either needs to shut down or just traffic starts to build up in this area. So there's really no easy way around this mess. According to CDOT, with existing and growing traffic combined with the increase in population in this area, CDOT says that this area demand will exceed capacity by 2050. So the goal for this stretch is to have wider shoulders along I-25 to provide more space for emergency responders and drivers when they need to pull over, a pedestrian overpass or underpass, auxiliary lanes to improve traffic flow between interchanges, plus the addition of a fourth general purpose lane on southbound I-25 between 84th Avenue and Thornton Parkway. So you can give your feedback tomorrow, 5:30 until 7:30 at the Thornton Community Center. So according to CDOT, they tell me that the study phase won't end until 2026, and then they're going to have their final meeting in 2026, and project construction should start along I-25 in 2027. So a lot of improvements. Hopefully we see them here soon. And then when construction starts, we'll keep you updated. For now, I'm live here in Adams County. Brianna Fernandez for 9 News.
Brianna, thank you. Right now, Denver police are asking for your help tracking down a truck involved in a hit and run crash. DPD and CBI are looking for a gray GMC truck like the one you see on your screen. They say it took off after hitting a motorcycle around 6:45 Friday night on Alameda near Zunai. The rider on the motorcycle was seriously hurt in the crash. Police say the 2015 Sierra truck is a Colorado license plate of EFC I-90. It has damage to the passenger side truck bed and bumper area. If you see the truck, call Denver Police. Their number is 720-913-2000.
Today, former Broncos coach Michael Wilhoit is set to be arraigned, accused of punching a police officer at DIA. This happened back in February this year. Court records say that Wilhoit left his car parked in the passenger pickup area at DIA. When he returned to his car, investigators say a uniformed officer confronted him and he pushed and punched that officer. He was originally facing felony charges. Those have been reduced to a couple misdemeanors. He'll have his first appearance in court this afternoon.
Aurora police are now allowed to use facial recognition technology. Last night, Aurora City Council voted 5-2 to approve the police department's use of technology. The company behind it is called Clearview AI. Police say it'll help them solve crimes and solve them faster. And they argue it will be used to guide investigations, that they won't be allowed to detain someone solely based on a photo match. Critics argue that the technology does not always get it right and that it struggles in particular with identifying people of color.
State wildlife officials plan to release more wolves into Colorado this winter, but some local leaders are pushing back. Montrose County could be one of the next drop sites for Colorado's wolf reintroduction program. Commissioners there just voted to move forward with an ordinance that would block the introduction of non-native species, specifically gray wolves. We asked CPW if they will respect the ordinance if it passes. They told us they will continue to follow state law. That would likely mean going forward with the reintroduction anyway.
Denver Mayor Mike Johnston is making some changes to his proposed budget. The changes restore several cut programs without adding new layoffs. Johnston agreed to bring back the city's parking ticket dispute system, which lets drivers appeal tickets outside of the court system. The city will pay for it using interest earned on federal COVID relief money. Johnston says the one-time money won't be available again until 2027. That means future cuts could still be on the table.
Taking you to the live look over the nation's capital right now, where we have just tied the record for the second longest shutdown in history. As of this morning, there is still no sign of a deal in Washington. Senate Republicans are heading to the White House today, not to negotiate, but to show unity with President Donald Trump. Democrats are demanding rollbacks of federal spending cuts, as well as the extension of health care subsidies. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers are missing paychecks, and states warn that crucial programs could run out of money soon. Here in Colorado, there are concerns about SNAP as we head into the holidays. Our Courtney Yoon's going to talk more about that coming up at 6:30.
Meanwhile, the administration has laid out plans to fire more than 2,000 Interior Department employees. That could include hundreds of employees here in Colorado. Right now, a federal judge has put a hold on these layoffs, but that might not last. The Interior Department manages public lands. It oversees the Bureau of Land Management and the National Park Service. About half the staff at the BLM's National Operations Center in Denver would lose their jobs. The planned layoffs also include dozens of National Park Service employees in Denver and U.S. Geological Survey folks in Fort Collins. New this morning, a federal appeals court has ruled that President Trump can deploy the Oregon National Guard to Portland. The Trump administration argued that the troops are needed to help protect a federal immigration and customs enforcement facility. Demonstrators have clashed with federal agents outside that building for months. Local and state officials have said the administration is exaggerating the issue.
We told you about that freeze warning, which expires in a little less than 3 hours now. It includes a lot of eastern and northern Colorado, including the metro area. If you haven't winterized your sprinklers already, experts say now is the time to do so. Garden professionals recommend shutting off sprinklers by November 1st and covering any exposed pipes or backflow preventers. This will help prevent costly damage, but you should still keep your lawn and trees hydrated throughout the fall, even if it means doing it by hand. Garden professionals say those will help keep roots healthy before winter comes. Katie?
It is 6:09 and we have seen some freezing temperatures already this morning. It is 33 degrees right now at Central Park. We're hovering in the mid to upper 30s from downtown to the airport, and we are continuing to see a chilly morning across Colorado. Teens and 20s right now from Kremling out to Eagle, and it is only 19 degrees in Lyman. The freeze warning is set to expire at 8 o'clock and a really nice day ahead. We're expecting highs slightly above average and a lot of sunshine. We'll look ahead at our next storm system set to impact the state coming up in your full forecast.
Katie, thank you. 6:10. Let's get you out the door with your traffic impact commute. Anyone getting ready to drive through the Lakewood area, you're going to want to know what we're dealing with. Take a quick peek at your screen. Sky 9 up and over our first crash of the morning. This is along northbound Kipling Street, right near 6th Avenue. It's just a little bit north of 6th Avenue, right around Center Street this morning. Travel in the area, not a full closure. Tow truck arrived on scene in the last 7 minutes or so. What we can see is this vehicle clearly with some serious front end damage. The hood is popped. Crews are working to clear up this debris. I'm not seeing another vehicle, so unclear if it was maybe a hit and run situation. We're of course going to work to learn a little bit more, but we're seeing a few officers out here, and again, not a full closure, but causing just a slight delay through this area. Northbound Kipling, just a little bit north of 6th Avenue.